Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair.
Thank God it's Friday. Woo! It was another hot one this week. 113, 14 tomorrow. It cools down tomorrow, but unfortunately that brings a possibility of rain, which if you've paid attention to this channel for any decent measure of time, you know that I have a problem with the rain since 2023 because of the damage that I could not, afford to have happen to the center's facilities, roofs, all kinds of stuff. And here, I'm okay with the heat right now. But yeah, right now we're in the monsoonish, whatever the hell it is, a bunch of dust in the air and a bunch of clouds. It's supposed to rain for a little bit tomorrow, but nothing torrential like it had been for the previous times. Talked to an Army buddy of mine who's a meteorologist, and he says what we saw last year probably won't happen again in my lifetime. The circumstances that caused that deluge over those periods of months was a unique circumstance that it could happen again, but that I probably won't live long enough to see it, which I thought was great news. All right, tonight's show, Brad should be on his way somewhere. He just wrapped up with the vodka stream, is brought to you by Twisters in theaters July 19th. Some of you guys local, you already saw the social media post. You will have the opportunity to win some hats, t-shirts, and some other stuff I'll show you a picture of. Twister, this summer, the epic studio disaster movie returns with an adrenaline-pumping big screen thrill ride that puts you in direct contact with one of nature's most wondrous and destructive forces. From the producers of Jurassic, Bourne, and Indiana Jones series, here comes Twisters, a current-day chapter of the 1996 blockbuster Twister, directed by Lee Isaac Chung, the Oscar-nominated writer-director of Minari. Twisters stars Daisy Edgar Jones, where the Crawdad sings. Didn't see that. Glenn Powell, Top Gun Maverick, which I did see, and he's awesome at that. And Anthony Ramos, Transformers: Rise of the Beast, as equal forces with opposing motivations who come together to try to predict and possibly tame the immense power of tornadoes. So there you go. And let's bring up some of the cool stuff for some of you locals. And who knows, if I can do it, I will try to see if I can do some online giveaways for this. But let's see, because I posted some of this, so a lot of you guys who are on our social media have already seen it. But take a look at this. Screen. Bam. There he goes. There's the movie poster. There's these little flasks. Look at the little Twisters flags. Kind of cute. There's your hat. Looks like the little Texas Longhorn there. That hat's kind of neat. That logo is kind of cool. That looks like something you see on a sports like if your team like a Texas Tornado, which is basically what it is. Like if your team was called the Texas Tornadoes, that would be the logo. That's kind of a cool logo. Oh, that's Shelley Duvall. That's from yesterday. Still rest in peace, Shelley Duvall. Let's see, Twisters. Here's your hat. This is the shirt, not my first. There's the hat. So there you go. For those of you who are local, the screening is going to be next Tuesday at Regal Red Rock. Come on. Goes. There's that. All right. So let's say hi to the chat. We're gonna, as soon as Brad gets here, we're gonna watch the Captain America Brave New World trailer. I loved it. I'm looking forward to this. I'm a big fan of the Captain America movies in general and what they've done with Sam Wilson and what they've done with Bucky. I like the interaction with those characters. This teaser trailer gave me everything I needed to see to get excited about this. All right, Clinton and his duck. Clinton's out of the hospital. Nice to know that. I heard about the truck. That sucks. Dracula's here. Music Man, how you doing? Oh, my favorite crazy Aussie. Yeah, the Alec Baldwin thing was. Listen, newsflash. I told you guys from the outset of a long time ago when this first happened, it was a horrible, tragic accident, and somebody lost their lives. There's a civil case to be had. It was settled out of court. If there was anybody who was criminally culpable, it was the armor. She's in prison now for 18 months. The case against Alex Baldwin was stupid. It was stupid. I that was a waste of court time, court money, and it comes down to a technicality. But like I said a couple of days ago, it didn't matter if she dismissed the case. He was going to be found not guilty. He was going to be found not guilty. The one person who had culpability in it is the armorer who handed them the gun and said cold. Once somebody hands you a gold gun on a set, that's pretty much what they think they're handling. So there was never any way that they were going to be able to find intent or carelessness. It'd be different if he'd have walked up and grabbed the gun and started flipping it around and all that, but he would handle the gun by the person whose job it was to make sure all that stuff was set. This was stupid. And like I said, it didn't even make it to, it made it to deliberations, but it got thrown out. But like I said before, it was going to be an acquittal anyway. So there you go. Hey, and like, how you doing? Tragic. Somebody lost their lives on a movie set. There are ways to affect. There's a civil suit. They settled out of court. The one person, like I said, who had criminal culpability was found criminally liable, and that's it. This was dumb. So there you go. Yeah, that's what I said. I said that at the outset of all this, and vehicle problems in 118 is not good. What's going on? Yeah, please like, subscribe, join, spread the word. Hello.
I was just on the Vodka stream, so we were just kind of shooting the shit a little bit, and after we signed off. So yeah, hopping from there right over here.
How you doing, Ray? Cat and hate. Yes, that is tomorrow.
And and I told them it's like what the thumbnail is going to be. My head like this.
I think I just want a clean cut of your face, though. I don't want you covered. I want you.
Oh no, you're not going to get a clean cut of my face on this.
I already have it.
No, here's just take your screenshot right now.
I took the screen. The thumbnail's already done.
This is funnier. This is way funnier. We need humor for this movie this bad.
Nah, and it's one of those looks you did from Scary Movie where you just completely disgust it. It's hilarious. So tomorrow I'm guessing around 1 because then we'll do Skyline after that. So I will be in and out for these things because that's one of the reasons I hadn't been doing too is because we've been dealing with issues at the store. Obviously the heat. Today, my worker was there and he said that bad boy ran cool all day. So you know what's going to happen when I step in there tomorrow, right? Shit ain't going to fucking work, and then I'm going to have to get the cooler. But hey, let's knock on wood. Let's hope you know what? It's been a long time since I had good luck on the weekend.
By the way, William just admitted that the Beyond Skyline is going to be after Cat in the Hat. We're going to put the bad one. We're going to put the bad one first. The
funny thing about it is you're not going to know until Vince hits play. That's the funny thing about it.
Yeah, so we're going to be watching the bad one first. Get that bullshit out of the way, and then we're going to watch
some of the crowd might think that the Skyline's. I don't know. You know.
No.
We should do a poll. Maybe we should do a poll. I think people would just pick Cat in the Hat just to stick it to you.
What pick Cat in the Hat is like which of these two is better?
The last one. No, it's just. I mean, it's not even about which movie's better. It's about watching you rip your eyeballs out. Let's see.
Well, you're all going to be ripping it out with me.
I have not. Have you ever heard of Amazing Screw-On Head?
Have I ever heard of Amazing? No, I have not.
We've just probably walked into some kind of trap to get us to say that on there, so that's fine. You know why I'm going to watch Twister shot on film? Okay.
That's actually gets some pretty good responses from some of the early screenings.
For what? Twister?
Twisters, yeah. So my interest is really starting to peak with this, and that's out next week. So
it comes out next Friday.
Probably giving this a look.
Did you go see Longlegs?
I've not seen it yet. No, I just didn't get the chance to. So I may either tomorrow or Sunday. I'll probably give it a look.
All right, well, let's just jump right into this trailer because this
trailer. We were talking about the Vodka stream too. I actually did really like this trailer a lot for Captain America: Brave New World. I almost said Captain America: Brave and the Bold.
Well, shit, it changed the title from New World Order, but I guess I don't know why people panicked out of that. Let's see. This shouldn't get us kicked off. By the way, Brad is determined to get us.
No. William sent me a screenshot. By the way, the stream is back up. Is it not?
No, they never took it down. It just tells us, we can't monetize that stream. Right now, it doesn't matter because we don't have 1,000 viewers.
Yeah. We didn't. We didn't like really get like a bunch of super chats out of that either. And yeah, like you said, it's like
I think for according to Vince, it doesn't affect the super chat. It only affects them running ads on your streams. And if they do run ads on your stream, the originator of the content, they get the
okay.
Get the money.
But you said like that doesn't become a problem until you get to 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, once we get to 1,000 subscribers, if there's a pattern of things like that, because it's not a strike, it's just kind of annoying when you see it and like, God damn it, because you take all the protocols that especially once you get monetized, the last thing you want to do is give them money back. But
and William sent me that screenshot. He DM'd that to me, and I sent him back a gift saying it was worth it to show you guys. Once Skyline Undisputed.
With the no, it may not. It won't be once we get past 1,000. Fuck that. We'll take that shit right down. Because we just reached. It'll become official tomorrow when they send it to us. But we just passed 80,000 views, 80,000 lifetime views. So we're probably before the end of this year, we're gonna hit 100,000 views. Like I said, I have some things in the works to get us up to 1,000 subscribers. So once we reach that, we're in new territory. So yeah, right now we can fuck around, but once we get up to that level, we can't.
And then we don't want to find out.
Yeah, that's really one of the things that if when in doubt, we just ain't gonna do it. And that includes cool things I want to do too. It's just that we'll work with the we'll work with the movies that we're promoting. Obviously, we'll have permission to do those, but anything else, if it's gray area, we ain't doing it. So all right, here goes this trailer because I rather enjoyed this.
Okay. Yeah, I did too. I was I liked it more than I thought I was going to be perfectly honest.
I hate when this dude's hold on, give me a chance to set the sound up the way I needed to set up. Here we go. All right, start over. Here we go.
Wilson. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look.
They said lose the mustache or lose the election.
That is so on
you and I,
the new look thing.
I haven't always agreed in the past, but I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position.
And if we disagree on how to manage this situation, then what happens?
Work with me, Sam. We'll show the world a better way forward.
I did Sir, your inner circle's been compromised. Either you can't see that, or you don't want to. What if it's a trap? Global power is shifting. You're just a pawn.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.
Red Hulk right there.
I was watching this, and I'm like, you know, when I watched it for the first time, and I'm like, I thought Red Hulk. I mean, that's what I've been hearing about.
Well, we saw that, you know, the screenshot too.
Hold on.
There was the screenshot stuff float around like as soon as the trailer dropped. I'm like, okay,
yeah, I mean,
where is he? And it's like, right, save the best for last. Yeah,
and they like the last 2 seconds is bam, which is good. We're going to cover the Red Hulk. That's going to be one of our comic book subjects tomorrow. We're going to cover the in depth. I have a lot of books at the store about the Red Hulk. I remember when the Red Hulk came out, it was still a mystery. It was still a mystery
they kept that
who he
pretty
was.
well hidden.
So ironically, it's Thunderbolt Ross who basically made his career, got one of his stars on his shoulders by chasing the Hulk and the Hulk busting program, and he becomes one. So we'll discuss the differences between the Red Hulk and the Green Hulk and all that, and the whole genesis of that character tomorrow because it's very relevant. I liked everything about it. There wasn't anything I did not like about that trailer. I know a lot of people weren't as excited about Captain Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier as I was. Somebody put, you know, they call it mid, medium, whatever. I don't. It's my second favorite Marvel show behind Loki. And this is where I waited for Marvel to get to. I sat through the Infinity Saga. A good half of it I thought was garbage for the most part. Not garbage, but not like out of my seat, make time out of my day worthwhile. A lot of it was, like I said, for every Captain America Civil War, I got an Iron Man 2. I got a Thor anything. I got an Ant-Man. I got an Ant-Man and Wasp. I got all these other mediocre movies that, by comparison, were literally garbage if you compare them to the top tier. And that was a problem with the MCU. It was either really, really good or it wasn't. And the medium-level movies would have been good under any other circumstances. But when you compare some of these movies, when you compare Thor Dark World to Captain America's second movie, it's trash. In my opinion. So I know that's a harsh term, but they set their own standard. Now, this movie here looks like the Captain America standard that helps set the MCU standard.
I agree. Yeah, it does. It looks. Yeah, like I said, it's very. They're clearly being very on the nose with the whole, like with General Ross. Like, yeah, I'm still getting used to the new look thing. Of course, the whole recasting of Harrison Ford after William Hurt's passing. But and even also with, you know, the loss of, you know, him shaving the mustache, because we talked about in the vodka stream, it's like here they probably asked Harrison Ford to grow a mustache, and he was like, hell no, I'm not doing that.
I think Harrison Ford would have worn the mustache because it's part of the role. Here's the thing. This is why it's not appropriate for him to have worn it. Even Thaddeus Thunderbolt would have shaved the mustache once he became president. Reason being, what's the last president of the United States that had a mustache?
Offhand, that's a good question.
Yeah. Huh. And once you think back as far as you can, keep going. Because in the modern era of presidency, presidents are clean shaven.
Well, he says that in the trailers. They said either lose his mustache or lose the election. Yeah,
and that is a perception that is built into the average citizen about what a president looks like. It's for no matter what race or they are, black doesn't matter. The president and let me Google that because I have to think about
presidents with mustaches.
Yeah, last president with a mustache. Last POTUS.
Now, Ford says President Ford. Harrison Ford should have wore his earring. Well, presidents don't have earrings either, that I'm aware of.
Who was the last president with a mustache? William Howard Taft. Okay, so 1913.
And his was like probably like the whole like that.
The whole handlebar thing.
Yeah.
So since we've had motion pictures and cameras and TV and the internet, there hasn't been a president with a mustache. So even if he was just playing Thunderbolt, I think he would have done the mustache. But because he's the president, that doesn't work. Even William Hurt, whoever was playing Thunderbolt as Thunderbolt, should have the mustache. Because Army generals generally have a lot of generals are clean shaven, but there are a lot of old school generals.
Well, there's and as Wayne can tell you, there's very strict in the military. It's like you're allowed to grow facial hair up to a point when you're active duty. It's basically a mustache, and even then you have to keep it like very specifically groomed and it
has to be like mine right now wouldn't pass. It has to be like the corners cut right here, trimmed down to no facial hair, sideburns, measured. I mean, everything's got to be. But you are allowed to have a mustache. You are allowed to have a mustache in the military flags.
My hair I got right now, I'd have to get a crew cut.
Like I pretty much maintain.
And I just got it trimmed.
Yeah, I pretty much maintain the same standards that I've had when I was in the Army. Granted, the goatee and stuff grows out, but I had a shaving profile. Technically, by Army regulation, I had a profile because it was really bad for me when I shaved. I had a profile. I could have grown it out if I wanted to because I had the paper coming, but I decided not to because overseas I was briefing sergeant majors and lieutenant colonels and then sometimes a general. And when I'm in front of that with the map and everything else, you wanted to, even if it's going to make my face burn for the next week, I just opted to go ahead and have it clean shaven then. But when it's the president of the United States, William Taft is the last one to have it. So that's why you do not see person forward. That more so that than anything else because it's a role. He's an actor.
Yeah, that's true.
He'll do the role. The only actors, whenever they do that, is if there's a conflict or when they're shooting another movie back to back, or a lot of these guys shoot movies at the same time. Obviously, the biggest one we know of in superhero was the Henry Cavill thing.
That was an unfortunate thing.
Yeah, so that caused, but a lot of actors and actresses will not change their look like that if they're done filming. But with him, he's playing the president, and in the modern era, literally it's been over 110 years since a president's had a mustache. So there you go.
By the way, something that kind of stood out to me in the trailer, and this may kind of be an extension of some of the themes you talked about from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. At the end of the trailer there, when Ross says to Sam, when he says, "You might be Captain America, but you're..." Thank you, Rhea. Thank you for...
No, she wants the hat, the Twister hat.
Oh, okay. I thought you guys were like poking fun at me about Cat in the Hat tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what happens when you come in late and fuck up the show. No, but go ahead. What were you saying?
So at the part of the end of the trailer, when Ross says to Sam, "Well, so you may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers," and Sam says to him, "You're right, I'm not." Now, of course, we don't. This is like speculation without seeing the finished movie. But do you get the impression we're supposed to also read some kind of racial context into that?
No, no. Because Thunderbolt he's an asshole and he's a piece of shit, but he's not racist.
Yeah, he's never shown signs of racism, but it's like, but is that meant to be like a theme that's like extrapolated to just the U.S. government as a whole? It's like he personally might not harbor racist feelings, but again, as we saw in Falcon and Winter Soldier, that is a theme in the show.
In that show, yes. In that context between him, no. What he is saying, and this is if you read the comic, it's consistent with the comic, is Captain America. And if you can go all the way back, and this is something we're going to bring up too on the show, Captain America 336, 337, where Captain America actually quits being Captain America because of the same exact situation that Sam is being faced here. That's why I find it ironic. Because he says you may be Captain America because you're not Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers quit being Captain America for the same exact type of thing Thunderbolt Ross. They wanted him to become an instrument of the government. And now it turns out it was Red Skull was behind the whole thing. But the biggest conflicts in Captain America came out of the ice was the conflict between him and America and how he is used and what kind of autonomy he had. That the problem is Captain America had this reputation built up as a soldier that followed orders. And that's how Thunderbolt Ross views Steve Rogers. because Steve Rogers hasn't made that stand yet. Sam Wilson is actually making the stand that Steve Rogers would made in the comics. But in the comics, he's given a whole list of orders that he needs to follow. And it's the Red Skull. Red Skull is causing all of it, but he puts out a set of orders that he knows Steve Rogers would rather give up the costume rather than follow. That's when Steve Rogers leaves as Captain America and becomes the U.S. agent. And John Walker, who is the U.S. agent now, became the next Captain America. Yep. Just like it did but under little bit different circumstances. Different circumstances brought it about, but it is still the same order. So the U.S. agent, he becomes Captain America while Captain America dons the suit that he has now. And after this was all over, the U.S. agent wasn't a bad guy. He was just put in a shitty situation. So he became a good guy. Which is kind of like you see him in the books. That's a long ways down the road. But yeah, now when he says that you may be Captain America, but you're not, because he has a perception of Captain America as a guy who would follow along what he's wanting to do, which he hasn't found out. Nobody has found out that that's bullshit. Steve Rogers would give up the shield before he did that. That's what that meant.
Okay. Yeah, but that was something that kind of occurred to me, is because that's whether or not, because of the themes that were prevalent in Falcon the Winter Soldier, and this, of course, is a continuation of Sam's story. It's like, that kind of occurred to me at the end there with that exchange of dialogue. It's like, is that meant to be like kind of like layered in terms of like when he says you're not Steve Rogers, it's like you're also not something else that Steve Rogers is.
In the context of Falcon and Winter Soldier, 100% correct. In the context of the history of the character of Captain America and what was expected of him at one time was absolute. You're wearing our country symbol. You're a tool of our company, our country. And that's basically, and that actually fleshes itself out in the stories. It hasn't fleshed itself out here yet, because that's not the way Sam becomes Captain America. That's not the way the U.S. agent John Walker becomes, Captain America. He becomes Captain America because Captain America is no longer there. But in the comics, he becomes Captain America because Captain America is laid Thunderbolt Ross type orders are laid at his feet, and he's given an ultimatum. You can't operate as Captain America anymore unless you follow these rules. He says, well, here's your uniform. He hands the uniform over and becomes the U.S. agent. Him and the U.S. agent actually fight together to stop the Red Skulls. By the way, who has cloned himself as Steve Rogers and done things in Steve Rogers' name to try to make him a fugitive. This story ends the coolest way. He's fighting John Walker and Steve Rogers, right? He's about to blow that Red Skull shit on Steve Rogers and turn him into, make fuck up his skull, turn him into a Red Skull-ish type of thing. Yeah. John Walker actually tackles him. And he bites down on it, and he turns his brand new Steve Rogers face into the Red Skull, and he's pissed. So that ends the whole thing. It was a good 2-year storyline with the Serpent Society. They had Reagan in there because the Serpent Society was trying to poison the water and turn everybody into snakes or in the lizard type situation. And they turned Reagan into a lizard. This is Captain America 350. So whoever is writing these things right now, I can tell you where they're getting their influence. They're reading these comics. Yeah. And they're not just going back like, a couple of years recently. They're going back all the way. The storyline I'm referring to takes place in 1987, 1988.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
I've read it, but it's like it's been a while.
Yeah. So I love the trailer. I loved everything about the trailer.
Yeah, I've been very lukewarm about this movie, but this trailer did a good job about getting me back on board. Because the only thing I was really, to the extent I had any excitement for before, was pretty much entirely about Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross, and so this trailer did a good job about bringing me back on board for the next Captain America movie, and with the first movie with Sam Wilson embracing the Captain America mantle. So and of course cherry on top, it's coming out in February, this I think just a few days after my birthday.
That's the only thing that sucks about it. I want it now.
Yeah, so I'm sold. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, you're asking me. You're referring to Russ. Should the movie? Yeah, the movie should be released. I think it should be.
Oh yeah. I thought. I was a little bit confused why he was asking there. Because of course I saw the news. Alec Baldwin's acquittal. The trial didn't even really. It wasn't even really much of a trial. It was over like that. It was the opposite of OJ. It was just in and out.
It was stupid. But yeah, and one of the reasons why the movie's going to see it is because the part of the settlement is that the family gets a significant chunk of the revenue and the resources of it. So you really want them to get paid, and the film company want that to go on. So that's going to happen.
Yeah, and share with me again, because again I was a little bit behind getting on. So just your thoughts on the verdict, because I saw you post about it a little bit ago, but you're pretty much in the camp that's like this acquittal is you're on board with this acquittal.
Well, it's not an acquittal. She dismissed it with prejudice, which means not only is it dismissed, she ended the trial, but it can't be brought again. So it was a government misconduct, holding evidence, doing stuff like that. This should have never even got to today. It should have never even got to today. Like I said before, it was a horrible tragedy. Somebody needed to be held accountable. The woman who was most criminally culpable is in prison for 18 months. There's a civil settlement, so the families get the legal realms have done what they needed to do. They're bringing charges against him when you were never going to be able to prove A, intent, or B, malicious carelessness, because he was handed a gun that an armorer, who by profession said was cold. Trial's over.
Because I've kind of gone back and forth a little bit on the whole situation with Al Baldwin, because it's there's the argument of he was the producer of it. This movie really was kind of his baby. So there's an argument I've seen made that's he's, even though he wasn't the director, he was to a large extent the captain of the ship. So it's like the responsibility for the armorer the argument. I'm not saying I agree one way or the other on that, but that the responsibility of the armorer. My voice is weird tonight. It kind of extends to him as the producer, because again,
she threw that out. Out. That was the argument of the prosecution. She dismissed that. And once she dismissed that, that should have never even been allowed to be brought up, because that was that would be a civil issue.
Yeah, and that kind of leads to the other side of it, which is that again, the armor. I mean, the reason you have the armorer on set is because it's like, the armorer is the ballistics expert that nobody else on the set is. The armorer's job is to oversee the safety of all firearms being put to use on set. She puts it in Baldwin's hands, says this is safe. You're not going to hurt anybody with this, and ends up happening. So it's like that's putting him. The argument from the other side is that he's just a victim of circumstance at that point. So I've kind of gone back and forth on that, but I think over seeing the, and this is I don't think he's handled it the best.
No, he needed to stay off of TV.
Well, he had that documentary on Hulu that he did within a few weeks of the shooting. So it's like Baldwin definitely didn't do himself any favors with this. But that said, it's like you don't put somebody in jail for the rest of their life for that, for handling PR badly. So it's one way or another. It's like he's gonna be carrying this when he's going to carry the guilt for the rest of his life. Yeah, it's like that's something that's like intentional or not. That's something that just really just stays with you. So it was a horrible tragedy, but I think ultimately, all things considered, probably the case the judgment of the case came out pretty much the right way.
Yeah, and she ripped into him, dude. That judge fucked those prosecutors up, and then the prosecutor tried to interrupt her. She's like, "You need to shut up." And I'm not done yet. So yeah. All right, Droga. I've heard about this. Somebody's tagged me in this a while back. I'll take a look at it. I'm going to see if we can bring that. I want to bring that up. I want to see if I can bring that up without violating anything. I know what he's talking about. Yes, 1 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow, so that we can get these done, and I can, like I said, I will surprise you what we're starting with.
No, you won't, because we're starting with Cat in the Hat.
Then
I talked about this. I brought up Film Junkies. I mentioned these as a watch party. He said, "Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of the Skyline franchise." So there you go. I told him that's the poster right behind me for Beyond Skyline.
Yeah, I was watching that. I was going to jump on, but I was busy. Brave and the Bold. Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, well, I almost made that mistake, as I mentioned a minute ago. It's the Brave and the Bold. I almost called the Captain America the Brave and the Bold.
Yes, always brain glad.
Oh yeah, Droga, of course. Like, yeah, well.
It will matter once it hits. Yeah, Brad bucking up the stream will matter once it hits 1,000.
And by the
I'll
way,
have to go
speaking of
back
that,
and mute claims of those previous videos.
Talking about this, you talked about like different things in the works to bring stuff to 1,000 subscribers. So, and of course, you mentioned like going on some local radio shows for that. So is that happening soon?
Yeah, that's going to happen before the convention.
Okay.
We just, it's just a matter of people's schedules.
Gotcha. And well, of course, the San Diego Comic Con itself is of course awesome place to network. So we might be getting some subscribers on the floor, from people William meets.
Did Red Hulk have a mustache? No, he didn't.
Oh, wait. Well, first of all, if you're talking,
that would have been a dead giveaway.
Exactly. It's like if you're trying to keep that thing a surprise, it's like,
yeah.
and they kept the Red Hulk's identity a secret for quite a while. So it's like if you want to keep it a secret, you don't give him General Ross's mustache.
Yeah,
it's not how you do it.
Here's a perfect picture of it right here. See, there's William Hurt, rest in peace.
Yeah.
And then there's
Harrison Ford. Yeah.
That picture is from Blade Runner, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's the still that they took.
Do you? I don't know if this is confirmed or not. Did he? Because he plays General Ross in the movie. I would imagine they probably did like the CGI body scan or whatever. Did he? Is it known if he did any performance capture for it at all, or is that like a stunt guy is going to be handling it? He just voices the Red Hulk.
I don't know what his voice. I haven't heard his voice because.
Oh, we got our naked Red Hulk there.
Where?
Nick, right there. The three.
Oh,
I think that's yeah. It's, the model.
Oh,
of it.
Yeah, it's a ZBrush. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get demonetized. But yeah, well, no, I don't even know if they're gonna use I don't know if they're gonna use a voiceover or not. It's gonna be like I said, at the store tomorrow. I got some stuff to material we're gonna bring out.
Yeah, I remember when the Red Hulk, because I was following that pretty closely.
I love the way they
that was back like in 2008, I think, is when the story started.
When did he first appear? I think I have his first appearance.
Because it's been long enough where it's like, yeah, I mean, and a lot of stories, especially with like how many comic movies are these days. I mean, a lot of stories they'll get adapted to screen a lot, with a quicker turnaround than they would have like 20 years ago. But so this is like the time frame for when Red Hulk was introduced to making it into a movie. It's kind of a little bit closer to what it used to be in terms of when a character is introduced to when they get adapted to live action.
All right, 2008. He was introduced, and he is revealed 2 years late. They went on with 2 years.
They kept that under wraps for a long time, and they wouldn't have been able to do that if he had a mustache.
Nah, storyline reveals that this being is United States Army General Thunderbolt Ross, the father-in-law of longtime nemesis and original Hulk Bruce Banner. The storyline reveals that Ross was given an ability to transform into Red Hulk by the organization's AIM and the intelligence that he did this in order to fight the original Hulk. So basically, it was part of this. So there's another Red Hulk. Robert Mabbitt, the origin of the second Red Hulk, appears in 2017. I had stopped reading U.S. Avengers. Four-star General Robert Mabbitt is selected for the genetic profile to create a being halfway to the Hulk. But yeah, there's I got some stuff at the store, but there's also some stuff I can bring out. But like I said, strike while the iron is hot, since we since, a lot of people will be talking about it.
RG says, yes, I agree. I really like the trailer. I'm on board with what they, because again, up until now, I've been pretty lukewarm on this, on the next Captain America, but this trailer did a really good job of selling me on it. So my main thing that I was going to be having anticipation for was Harrison Ford as General Ross, but now it's like, okay, now the whole package looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go back and meet. Yeah, we're gonna have to unbrad all of our videos. Is what we're gonna have to do.
It was a necessary sacrifice to introduce these guys to the Tronus that is the Undisputed franchise and the Skyline franchise.
Sacrificing cash, man.
Well, I picked the right time to do it then. Okay. Archie says, "Oh yeah, I agree. I totally agree with the Hulk's trajectory in the MCU. Is the Hulk gonna?
What did he say?
He says if only normal Hulk would go back to being cool again. Is the Hulk going to be in this movie at all? Because I don't think there's any indication that he is.
I don't think we're going to see the Hulk until closer to Secret Wars or whatever Avengers movies that they're going to do.
Because they've got so many of the they got a lot of the cast and a lot of the characters from Incredible Hulk in it. I mean, they're finally bringing back Stearns as the leader. We're finally going to see him as the leader in this.
Yeah, and somebody in the chat was asking about that.
Yeah, Aaron looks pretty good. You know what else looks pretty good? Is the Rebel, and I shared that on Twitter earlier. This one video circulating from the Rebel, the Vietnamese martial arts flick that loved. And Aaron comments, it's like, "Oh yes, I agree, Brad." See, Aaron gets it, guys. Aaron gets it about
All right.
when I bring all this straw to you guys. Aaron's picking up on it immediately because
we're gonna have to talk about this connection that you have with your brother Brad. I need to talk to Mr. Curran, Master Sergeant Curran, and we need to find out. I mean, were you anywhere near Australia 36 years ago? Were you anywhere near? And I have to talk to Mrs. Pritchard, they're still all here. I'm assuming, and find out was there a vacation spot where you mutually because you guys are sharing the same brain. I wonder if I poke Brad, will you feel it over in Australia? I don't know.
Here, Aaron, do you feel that pinch? I just pinched myself. Leave in the comments if you felt that. There might be something. We might be onto something here.
Yeah, so tomorrow we're gonna do those. Then we're gonna do our overnight show. Like I said, the Hulk is gonna be a topic on there. I haven't put together. Probably play the Twister trailer again as we're promoting the movie.
Oh, was that trailer? Yeah. And again, like I said, I'm looking forward to Twister's on team.
Yeah, I will be passing. Not because I don't like the movie. I just don't have especially now, between now and when it gets released, I have no time. I got 2 conventions coming up. One of them I'm going to be at 4 days, and then the other one is right after that. I get to knock something off of a major lifelong list, and that is meeting Captain Kirk, the first captain, or the first televised. Oh, actually, no. I'm sorry, not even the first. I can't meet Jeffrey Hunter because he passed away young. But the first long-term captain of the USS Enterprise, 93-year-old William Shatner, who I hope remains in good health. Not just long enough for me to stand next to him and get my picture. I don't want to sound cold. Live till 120. But just, once they start reaching the 90s, I start worrying. That's why getting Stan Lee. I always tell you guys that the Stan Lee thing was so important. I was willing to volunteer to get in that convention. Plus, they needed big guys like me because I'm a pretty sizable guy. And the volunteers that they had at that convention were little people I didn't know were adults. I didn't even think they were adults. I'm like, who are you going to stop? And you would see them because people at conventions, some conventions, they're not inherently assholes, right? But you see the guy that you want to get your audio. You see a hero. You see somebody that, and you kind of like, you don't realize that, you're being a little bit inconsiderate. You're running it over. You're bumping into people. People are fragile. And, you got people in their late 80s and 90s. You hit them and they fall. You could do serious damage. And you have this little guy who may be like a sophomore in high school at best, at 5'2", 90 pounds. He's not stopping anybody. She ain't stopping nobody. And the little tweak guy that's 110 pounds at 6'5", they're going to just push him out of the way. And they're not even going to be trying to, right? It's just that, and then at that particular convention, they were short on the little, how you set up the maze and people walk through it?
Yeah.
They were short on those. So we were those things. So, I came into physical contact with a lot of people in that convention, man. And like I said, for those of you who haven't met me, I'm 6'2", about 250 at that time when I met Stanley.
I've seen William take a picture right next to Film Junkie, and it's like,
yeah,
because he's only like 5'8" or something like that. So.
Yeah, if he's that tall. Yeah, and then Rhea is about the same height, but yeah, I'm a pretty decent. I take up some space. What I'm saying.
I feel like it's like once William and I are in the same physical location, because he's still the bigger of the two of us, but it wouldn't be like quite as stark. I'm about 5'11", maybe 6 feet even. I'm about 210 myself, so I'm pretty broad too. So
yeah, we just got different builds. Mine is the weight is in different places. But yeah, so when they picked me, when I volunteered, and they would they would keep sending me to the places where they needed a linebacker. Basically, what I was a linebacker. My job was to push people out of the way. The people who were with me, I had Burt Ward. I remember I told you I do have a picture of this. I do have a picture. I didn't get a picture with them, but I got a picture of my vantage point. I had both Catwomen there, Burt Ward, Ray Parks was sitting across the aisle from them.
Wait, so these are the real people. These aren't cosplayers.
These are the real people.
Okay.
I have. We're gonna go back. By the way, remind me. I have pictures of 2017. Amazing. It was it's so fun. The empty chair that where Adam West was supposed to. He had died.
Oh yeah, it sucks.
And I was supposed to be. So I'm standing there, and there's no extensions. And this is Robin. I mean, he had a pretty decent line. So I would keep moving around, and I would say, hey, I'm going to turn around. They said, as soon as you're done, just walk up to him, get your autograph. But what was happening is I had to stay in position while they moved those people. So when I turned around, they were gone. The Todd McFarlane thing, I was legit as close to Todd McFarlane as I am to this screen. And they're like, yeah. As soon as you're done, we're going to, we'll hook you up. We're going to get there. Todd McFarlane had to go from one place to another. And we had to escort them. It was like there was no time. That's why when I got my autograph, my 323 autograph last year, I was so fucking happy. So that's how I got Stan Lee's autograph. Is because my job at that point, he was in this little booth, right? This little white booth or this little photo booth, and my job was to prevent anybody from getting into that hole, to getting into him, without checking through. So I had to take your bags away. So you couldn't go in there with anything. You had to leave your bag, and then you had to come around and somebody else gave it back to you. So after it was done, the guy peeks through and says, "You want your picture taken?" I'm like, "Yeah." Dude, I turned from a grown-ass man into a fucking 8-year-old because Stan Lee does this. And I come over there.
True believer.
He comes over there, and I knelt down. That's all it took. I knelt down, and you see it. I've shown this picture. You see the picture. I got the picture. I shook his hand. And he's like, "God bless you." And I'm like,
And that was only about a year and a half before he passed away.
Yeah, that was a year because he passed away the following November.
Yeah.
His wife passed away 7 days after I took that picture. His wife of 67 years passed away 7 days after that picture was taken.
I think a lot of people were saying he was ready to go at that point.
Yeah, so I got up, and immediately after I take that picture, and I have other pictures. In fact, remind me because I'll forget that we probably need to do that tomorrow. We need to go through that because that was, dude, amazing Comic-Con, by the way. It's a local one here. It's gone through some stuff since COVID and everything else, but it'll get back where it wants to be. That year was their best one. So I get up, and he's not on a walk or anything. He's walking. So we escort him from the picture booth, and Todd McFarlane's sitting on the stage. So the guy I've been chasing to try to get this damn autograph through the whole time, sitting on the stage. I can't do anything. I was part of so I walk him up there. I hand him off to another dude my size, and he gets him up the stairs, and that was it. But I had got my picture. And to me, at this point, pictures are far more important than autographs. Now, when it comes like to comic books and things like that, like getting issues, that's different. But when it's like personalities, anything Stan Lee, I mean, he would have to sign everything. He's part of everything. He was literally responsible for half of everything at that convention. No shit. It was either he created it or it was a derivative of one of his creations.
There's even an iteration of DC. He did put his own spin on. It's called Just Imagine. He did Just Imagine is an Elseworlds where it's like what if Stan Lee created the DC universe. So if you haven't read that, check that out.
And Jack Kirby was responsible for the other half, and then some of DC stuff. Some of the DC's most powerful villains and enemies and heroes are from the third or fourth world, and that's Jack Kirby. So yeah, we that convention was cool. Meeting Stan Lee, he was 94 at the time, and I just knew, I just had a feeling that I don't have any foreboding feeling over William Shatner. He seems to be having the time of his life, and he looks great. But once they reach their 90s, it's just important if I ever wanted to get it, because especially with the original cast fading away, it's George Takei, Walter Koenig, and him.
Yeah. Have I mentioned I actually got to interview George Takei a few years ago?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I have. It was for damn it, what was that animated samurai dog movie that he was in? He did a voice in.
Oh, come on now. That's not what we're saying. It's just
I didn't say
part
I
of the trailer.
I said, okay.
Yeah, he's talking about discussing that. No, it's part of the trailer, and I was just explaining. No, I just said I opened up the show that he's fucking with. Dude, this movie looks fun. This is the Marvel that I really like. this is the MCU that I can go for. There's the Scarlet Witch and all that nonsense. I don't like those.
It's
I like
Paws of Fury.
Loki's.
That's what it's called, Paws of Fury.
Yeah, I like the Lokis and the.
Let's see. RJ says, well, this there's no.
I hope there's no racism in this. Can't we just have a black hero be loved? Stuff never made it into Blade. Obama was years ago already. Okay, so I'm not even gonna respond.
RJ says the question is kind of tied into larger political issues, so feel free to ignore. But do you guys have any thoughts on the controversy surrounding the character of Sabra Sess Ruth being in this? A lot of people are boycotting this movie because Sabra is in it, and she's played by an IDF member who's very pro-Israel. It's like a cloud hanger over the media, at least on social media. I mean, we've said our piece before where it's like, I mean, you don't have to like. I mean, I've said to William, and I've said on the stream before. I mean, there are people in the business, without naming names, people in the business, people who I admire, people I have connections to, who I know for a fact are Trump supporters or at least Trump, or at least sympathetic to him. And it's like, and William has family members who are too. So,
by the way, people, it's election year. Time to cleanse the friends list, if you know what I mean. Go ahead.
And even extrapolating beyond that, I mean, it's like, I mean, as Aaron has pointed out on here, it's like I'm the biggest Jackie Chan fan you're ever going to meet. I mean, there are political views he's espoused where it's like I'm not on board with that. As far as like with China and all that. So, it's the line I draw on a lot of things is like, okay, it just gets really murky and really messy of trying to just like parse your entertainment with like where somebody stands on geopolitics. So it's like, my line is, okay, if it doesn't involve swastikas or white hoods, I can tolerate it.
All right. I can answer this really easy because if you're going to have Sabra in the movie, it wouldn't even matter if you had a Jewish woman playing her or an Israeli woman playing her, because Sabra is a Mossad superhero. So it doesn't matter. The character, you're going to have to confront that one way or another. And I think it's important for people to not conflate with pro-Israel with pro what's going on. Yeah. I know people. I talk to people all the time. I talk to people, who lived over there. There's a lot of people that are Israeli, that are pro-Israeli because that's where they live, but they're not necessarily pro Netanyahu.
Yeah, and it's one thing I want to say. I've told William I want to say this on the show for a while, but it's like I think this part of it has kind of died down. But please stop taking your wherever you stand on the Israel-Hamas conflict right now. Please stop taking it out on Gal Gadot. Okay, she's the most famous Israeli on earth, but that's it. She's not writing Israeli policy. She's pro-Israel because that's her home country. Yeah. But again, she's not Netanyahu.
Yeah, and like I said, it's politics are complicated because I know during any given presidential administration, the guy in the Oval Office doesn't necessarily represent a good swath of the country. You have guys that get elected that don't win the popular vote. We're still in the same country. George W. Bush did not win the popular vote, yet there's none of his constituents are any less faithful or American. It's a complicated situation that you just have to if you don't want to understand that, I can appreciate that. If you don't want to, but at the same time, I'm not going to necessarily hold that against somebody as being faithful to their country. I'm faithful to the United States of America. And wait, we've had some pretty shitty leaders. I'll just say it on this fucking stream.
Yeah.
But when it came time for me to get on the plane and get in a uniform and the possibility of me coming back in a pine box, my faith was unquestioned, regardless to who sent me there. So give people the benefit of the doubt of that complexity. All right, next question.
Yeah. Oh, well, and actually kind of related, one from Aaron here. People need to touch grass. I'm still looking for a new Karate Kid movie. Yes, that's the one, the crossover between Cobra Kai and the Jackie Chan Karate Kid movie. Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Am I gonna have to ban?
And season 6.
Cobra Kai?
Yeah. Listen, Aaron and I, it's like this is so awesome that
the ban list is like gonna be. We may have to like literally start the show early and just have that shit scrolling.
I DM'd a while back. I remember I DM'd Aaron, and I said it was the GIF from Step Brothers. It was like listing off like everything, like we're like just mutually just really enamored with. So did we just become best friends? So,
Probably just found relatives, fucking siblings. Yeah, I do. Until otherwise, I think that's the leader as well, Chuck. How you doing, Chuck? By the way,
well, it's not even the leader is in the movie. That's confirmed.
yeah, he's in the movie. You just only saw the back of his head.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just further going on to the kind of the politics cross entertainment. It's like, again, like knowing I have friends who I know are supporters of Trump. It's like when you know people in a more in a more fully fleshed out way, it's like I can parse with like who's a supporter of like this politician or this party or this that or whatever for nefarious reasons, or who's maybe like gone down a rabbit hole of not necessarily like having the right information, but having maybe started out from good intentions. Which
people who know me, they know the words that are they know what not to talk. Like I said, on YouTube and on my Twitter page and on my business page, you'll never see anything like that. But I think Brad's on my Facebook. Yeah, I will fucking light you up without hesitation. And friend or no. I mean, like I said, I have friends too who have particular political beliefs, and I fucking flame broil their ass over them. Especially recently.
Cut off with them.
No. We're still homies. And like I said, there are certain things that align with certain people that pretty much make it to where a guy like me would like, wow, why the fuck am I even here? And we have these conversations, but here's the thing. I understand that the business forum isn't the place for it, but that doesn't mean there's other places I don't have those conversations. Yeah. I think once you're afraid to have the conversations in the proper context, in the proper setting, that's where we stop. When we stop talking to each other, that's when we let the other people start talking for us. And that's why I always tell people, even though we don't discuss it in depth here, because it's just not the format for it. Yeah. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be discussing anywhere. And every time I hear somebody,
William and I have offline.
Every time I hear somebody say, well, I don't like to get into politics is going to get into you. You can run and run and run and run. We've discovered that the world is round and this shit will still catch up to you, or you're going to run into it. So there's my advice for you there. All right. In regards to Alex Baldwin, he should have gotten some kind of punishment because if he did not point the gun at her, she would be. I know that's dead on arrival. Here's a problem. He's acting. The gun is a prop. The gun is as much part of the role as anything on his costume. And he's been told
this: you point this and pull the trigger, it will not hurt anybody.
Yeah. So it's different when you're talking about like the army, where we always have to assume that our weapons are loaded because we're not acting. We're not acting like we're being trained to kill people. We're being trained to shoot at an enemy. That's different when you're on a set. So no, I'd have to. Sorry, Glenn, I'd have to disagree with.
To add to that, because even though I never enlisted, I did back in high school, I did a semester of a GROTC because I come from such a lineage of soldiers. Like, even though it's like I wasn't enlisting, I just kind of wanted to dip my toe in the water a little bit there and just kind of get the feel for like being a little bit of like what military service would be. And so and in GROTC you will do you'll train with rifles and things like that. But this wasn't like live fire. It would shoot out these little pegs. They look like screws. They're like about that long. But still, you hit somebody with one, you're going to do some damage. And we were doing this one day. I remember this. I was like 16 when this happened. We were doing this. We were doing some firing exercises, and the target's down there, and you load each round in one at a time. And I had mine up like this, and so I'm loading it in, and I get it in there, and it's like my middle finger comes down, like kind of snags the trigger, and so it shoots the little dummy round up into the ceiling. It's like, oh, you should have seen this. Oh, that guy chewed me a new asshole over that. It's like, he lit me up for that. Nobody got hurt. And that's like over again. It's like,
the way you describe it, there's about 20 things that you did wrong.
Yeah.
That would have gotten you tossed off the range. Fourth, I've met you in person, and I am indeed 6'2". I am indeed 250 pounds. Are you You know, were you okay that day? I mean, I know I tried to push you off a ladder, but you survived. So, I mean,
and also to clarify, Vince, yes, it will be Beyond Skyline. The full title is Beyond Skyline.
Yeah. And this is I'm not necessarily. I'm just letting Brad pick this one. I'm not a big fan of showing a sequel before the original, but you know,
Brad, the
Brad
reason why, again, the reason why I picked this one is the same for when we do the Undisputed watch parties when I am the captain of the ship, Williams in San Diego, because in both cases, you know, these are the kinds of series where even though this is the second installment, you know, first of all, they're very, you know, Undisputed 2 and Beyond Skyline, they're very audience friendly. So it's like, I mean, I saw Beyond Skyline before that was the first entry in the series I ever saw. And both of them, they set the template and the image of the series for what people expect from each series now. And again, they're done in such a way you don't have to have seen either of the original. So, and most people who are fans of the series now really look at the second installment of them as like as the beginning of what we think of as the series. So it's, you know, even though it's they're you know, the second chapter, they still kind of, it's really where the, you know, Undisputed begins with Undisputed 2, and Skyline really kind of kicks off with Beyond Skyline. And even Beyond Skyline, you know, it's set concurrently with the first, so they both take place during the same alien invasion. But it involves some different characters. But the reason why I wanted to show this one is because this one really sets the image for what the Skyline franchise, as you know, as the world has come to know it, is. And so that's why I wanted to pick that one. And that's why also when we get to Undisputed, we will be starting with Undisputed 2. Because again, this is like when we think of Undisputed, that's where it starts. When we think of Skyline, that's where that starts. And so, yeah. Hope that's a quick, helpful breakdown for everybody. You never heard of? Well, I mean, the poster's right there behind me. There, we played the trailer the other night. I played some very trailers for you guys. So you guys got, you know, again, Aaron gets it. Aaron gets it, and so does Ruth. Let's see. Okay, well, I think William just got a phone call there, so I'm going to handle the chat until he comes back. What villain is more of an interest for you? Red Hulk. I would say Red Hulk. Just in the sense of we have more of a basis for Ross in the MCU, so we have more, and it's been so long since we've seen Stearns in the Incredible Hulk all the way back in 2008. So even though I'm happy to finally see that payoff, I would say, yeah, it's Red Hulk is the villain I'm most looking forward to, and also, you know, it's Harrison Ford. So no diss on Tim Blake Nelson, but yeah, Harrison Ford. It's like, you get Harrison Ford as a Red Hulk, you're doing good there. You're definitely doing good. Okay, let's get it. I heard the Skyline franchise in front of the Cat in the Hat. Well, did you also hear that the Skyline franchise is the perfect antidote after you've watched Cat in the Hat? Because it is. That's why I picked it. All right. Let's see. Vince is also very much on the page of like Red Hulk. Yeah. He's the villain I'm definitely most looking forward to in the upcoming Captain America: Brave New World. Let's see. Ford says most people in real life aren't the characters. Oh, is this what we were talking about with the kind of a little bit of the politics we dive into? Yeah, exactly. Again, I have friends, family, you know, people in the business I've been acquainted with who I know or support political parties or candidates or things of that nature who I don't, and who many who are quite controversial as far as their ideology or whatnot. But again, this is why social media and YouTube it's why William and I don't get into that on here, because it's so easy to demonize other people, without like properly knowing them. Even if they're supporting a candidate who you think is just who you have good reason to think is just a disgrace to the office that he's running for. That other person, that's still somebody who's they're not a cartoon character. We're not talking in terms of like pure good and evil with people who part ways on what candidate they vote for or what or where they stand on a military conflict or this, that, and the other. It's like, we need to, and this is why when William says like go to conventions or do things in person, where it's a big celebration of the stuff we discuss here on the Sci-Fi Center. It's like, go to that anytime you get the chance to, because it's like, we're missing a lot of that human interaction when we like base so much of whether or not you consider somebody else a good person, whether based on like Twitter interactions or what snapshot you get of their political or worldviews or religious views or what have you. So yeah, it was a little bit long-winded, but yeah.
Yes, and I'm gonna see if we can go over it tomorrow on the show, because I thought that was pretty cool. Yes, I'm a fan of corn asada. Kanye, I say Kanye. It's Kanye asada.
Right,
fries. Yes, I am.
That sounds like good fries. I told the company you stepped away, and I said Red Hulk.
It depends on the story, because the leader is a complex villain, a gamma radiation. I mean, but Red Hulk, there's different complexities because it's Thunderbolt. It depends on how they write them, I guess. But I think I'm going to enjoy both of them. I think it's going to be a tie. By the way, guys, if you want to support the center, you can leave a super chat. You can join. You can become a member.
Yes,
we are going to have after the double feature tomorrow, we are going to have a special members only stream that only the members will be on board for, and we're just going to shoot the shit, and we're going to talk about things that we wouldn't normally talk about on the show, but it's just going to be a member stream, and we'll
you can all thank me for introducing you to Skyline Undisputed.
Well, we will have just seen Cat in the Hat, so I guess we'll be
we'll have seen like an hour and a half prior when it ended, and then we watched Beyond Skyline.
Yeah, whatever. Vince, I'll get with you about all that.
Yeah, you'll get with him and tell him the Beyond Skyline's going second.
Sure.
Okay. Jack Kirby was street. Yes, he was. Yeah, that's I think he even William. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts on his DC versus Marvel tenure.
The problem with Jack Kirby is the issues that arose with Stan Lee. It's Stan Lee got the majority of the credit because Stan Lee was vocal. Stan Lee was active.
He was a lot better at selling himself.
Well, and because this was his job, he was the face of the company, whereas Jack Kirby didn't have that kind of personality. And I don't think anybody meant for it to turn out that way. It's just the more, the guy who basically wasn't just a guy writing and creating characters. He was the editor. He was the guy who got the money together. He was the guy who built the company. He was in meetings and places where Jack Kirby would have never been because of the nature of their job. So I think as that evolved, I think a lot of people look at it as like Stan Lee got all the credit for creating these characters. But when you look at all the credits to anything relevant, it's Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. It's just that when you think of Marvel, you think of Stan Lee. Stan Lee died in 1994. He died a lot younger than Jack Kirby died in 94. Died in 1994. He died a lot earlier than he died before the era where a guy like him would have become an icon, but his personality just wasn't like that.
You know who really got screwed? Who really, really, really got screwed was Bill Finger.
By people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah. Anybody who knows Batman and the Joker and the characters that were created then, they know. I don't run into people, be honest with you, who don't bring up Bill Finger's name on a regular basis with Kane. I mean, I don't, but I'm in a different environment.
Yeah.
The general public, but to be honest with you, the general public wouldn't know. If I showed them a picture of Bob Kane, they'd be like, "Who is that? The guy from Roger Rabbit or something like that?" They wouldn't know who the fuck he was. They wouldn't know. I was at Comic-Con '89. Bob Kane was in the elevator with me and my buddy Mike. We saw him. We were right there. Nobody knew who he was. Nobody knew who he was until they announced who he was. So it wasn't, but when you have a character like Stan Lee, who was the face and the voice, even at the earliest Comic-Con, Stan Lee's there with his butterfly collar. He was the everything to Marvel. Whereas Jack Kirby was, yes, he was very important, but he just wasn't. It was the personality difference. When it comes to Bill Finger, I mean, he didn't really do, I mean, he's credited. Like I said, I don't know.
Well, he didn't get credited on a Batman movie until BVS. That's the first movie that Bill Finger credited for his work on Batman is in BVS.
1989, when the world is talking about Batman, you could have put you could have had Bob Kane do a lap dance for you, and you wouldn't have known who he was. So it wasn't like Bob Kane was getting like, oh my God, this is the Messiah that created Batman. Nobody knew who the fuck he was either. When it comes to these characters like this, a lot of people just don't, because in that era that they both lived and died in, there was no mass media, there was no internet. There was no way to know who these guys were. You would show up at a con, shit you not. I walked up to Todd McFarlane, and the only way we knew he was Todd McFarlane is he had a Comic-Con badge on that said Todd McFarlane. Otherwise, he's an unassuming dude. He's standing there in the middle of the con, not behind a desk, not with no line. Todd McFarlane is standing in the middle of the con, and we're all just talking to him like he's just some dude off the train, because that's the way that's the era that they existed in. So, I mean, even though he wasn't credited to BVS at the time, at the height of Batman in the 80s, Bob Kane wasn't like the first word off your tongue either. So all right, so
all the dirt is coming out about you, William, in the chat. Like what?
What is he talking about?
Not sure where you're getting that, man. Oh, wait a minute. Is this about like okay, Ray in the next room? William had me put. What?
In the next room, William had me put up a banner made from over 100.
Oh, and he's saying
yeah.
Like, yeah. William sabotaged
me
to yells for coffee.
Hey, and I'll do it again. Rhea, you did good work with those titles. Lloyd complimented you, by the way. Did a great job. Fourth, fuck you. Bigger ladder this time. I'll finish the job. Thanks for the support, though. As I plot to throw you off of a ladder next time you're in Vegas. Thanks, buddy.
Ruth, how's it going, Ruth? Yeah, I'm mentioning you alongside Aaron because you guys both get it. You guys, it's like you get it.
Whatever.
It's like all the Tra amazingness I bring on the Sci-Fi Center that I have to convince all these, as I call them, rambunctious hellions.
Hey, another thing,
with, like Aaron gets it immediately and you get it immediately.
Real quick,
you guys are good. You guys are with me.
Bill Finger died in 1974 at age 59. He died in an era where comics were just not what we know them to be now.
And certainly comic book movies weren't.
Yeah. So you didn't really have an apparatus to really, for either him or Bob Kane, to be honest with you. Let's see. But yeah, a lot of people say he got screwed. But like I said, we're not in an era where all these guys would have gotten equal anything. Stan Lee, out of all those people, Stan Lee lived the longest. Stan Lee lived into the internet age. Stan Lee lived into the comic book movie phase. He was in them. By virtue of his cameo, I know people who came to know who Stan Lee was by virtue of the MCU cameos.
Him making cameos, yeah.
So I think a lot of it we look at it in hindsight is because a lot of these guys lived in an era where we didn't press it like this. And a lot of them died before this was even a thing. Kirby died in the mid-90s. We didn't even have widespread internet then. We were still shaking hands in AOL chats. And Bill Finger died before literally I was born. So he's actually been dead as long as he was alive. So I mean, I don't know, as a historian when it comes to comic books, I understand his importance, but I understand why a lot of the modern era wouldn't. But as far as like his credits being on BVS, I'm like, I didn't even pay attention to Bob Kane's credits on BVS. I may have taken a look at Schuster and Siegel's because I know there was some controversy there because there was lawsuits there. But other than that, I mean, like I said, I don't know. I as a nerd comic book, I never really got that sense, but a lot of people have.
And Stan Lee.
All right, hold on. Let's look at this. Sorry to cut you off. Artist Bob Kane negotiated a contract with National Comics, the future DC Comics, that signed away ownership of the character in exchange or among other compensations, a sole mandatory byline on all Batman comics and adaptations thereof. Finger's name in contrast did not appear as an official credit on Batman films until 2015. Finger began receiving limited acknowledgement for his work during the 1960s in letters. Batman page of 169 in 1965, for example, features editor Julius Schwartz naming Bill Finger as creator of the Riddler. Additionally, Finger did receive credit for his work for National Sister Company All American Publications during that time, for his example, Wildcat. So a lot of this even predates the existence of DC. In 1989, Kane acknowledged Finger as a contributing force in the character's creation and wrote, "Now that my longtime friend and collaborator is gone," shit, he died 16 years earlier. Damn, okay. "I must admit, Bill never received the name, fame, and recognition he deserved. He was an unsung hero. I often tell my wife if I could go back 15 years before he died, I would say, put your name on it now. You deserve it." Comics historian Ron Goulier referred to Batman as the creation of artist Bob Kane and writer Bill Finger. I grew up with that reality to me, but I guess, but you had also, like I said, signed away ownership of the character in exchange for guys. So he signed a contract that pretty much benefited him. But back then, the artist was the creator of the character. Because comic books was a visual representation. Let's see. All right, in 2015, DC Entertainment, rest in peace, announced Finger will receive credit on the 2016 superhero film Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice and the second season of Gotham. Okay, maybe watch that. Following a deal between Finger and family and DC, Finger received his first formal credit as a creator of Batman in October of 2015. Comic books Batman and Robin Eternal #3 and Batman Arkham Genesis. The updated acknowledgement in the character appeared Batman created by Bill Kane with Bill Finger. So there you go. But for those of us in the know, because when you look at The Man Who Laughed, which is a character that the Joker was based on, it's a silent movie with Conrad Veidt. That's where I even first learned who Bill Finger was. He was, as a kid. The Man Who Laughed. I'll bring this up. There you go. It doesn't give me the good picture. There's a Conrad. Here it is. The Man Who Laughed, 2018 film. Here we go. I'll bring this up for you guys. This is the character that led to, the inspiration for the Joker. Kind of see that there. There you go. Look familiar?
Yeah.
And this is 1928. And this was an inspiration for them. All right, so music and release. Let me read down here. Modern legacy. All right, the Joker, nemesis of DC Comics Batman, owes his appearance to Veidt's portrayal of Gwynplaine in the film. Although Bill Finger, Bob Kane, and Jerry Robinson disagreed as to their respective roles in the 1940 creation of the Joker, they agreed that his exaggerated smile was influenced by a photograph of Veidt on the film. A 2005 graphic novel exploring the first encounter between Batman and the Joker, also titled Batman, The Man Who Laughs, an homage to the 1928 film as the Batman Who Laughs, an alternate universe Batman who becomes the Joker is managing killer's enemy. So there you go. That's how I found out about Bill Finger and all this stuff as a kid. I'm talking about like a teenager, as a kid, as a 6, 7, 8 years old, before I even started collecting Batman. So there you go.
Bruce says, I can't wait to hear about it. Well, I'll give you one right now without Wikipedia. It sucks. Okay? And you'll hear plenty of that from me when we get through this god-awful movie you guys want me
Brad is going to fall in line. Brad is going to have so much fun.
I'm gonna fall in the line of leading you all away from Cat in the Hat to Beyond Skyline. And then beyond that to Undisputed.
Did I make you wear a Toxic Avenger mask? Sounds like a good idea. If I didn't, should have.
Oh God, I should be wearing a mask for this watch party because it's like, I maybe I'll have to I might have to watch it like this again because you guys, the way my face is going to contort during this watch party, it's like I don't know if you're going to want to see the demonic expressions that come on my face. So.
Yes, Rhea did buy me. I had never had Dutch Brothers before, so yeah, she bought me that. And it was pretty good. I'm still a Starbucks addict, but it was really good. I could see me converting. Yeah, you got a lot of free stuff, man. You got to meet the great Lloyd Kaufman. Come on, man. wasn't complete torture, even though I tried my best to make it so. Wow, it's chilly in here. The heat from my 75-inch TV. You know what, buddy?
You're gonna piss William off with that, man.
No. I have a 75-inch TV now, so I can relate.
You're envious because of like the heat thing.
Oh no! Once I'm in here in this office, my AC, my air cooling system here is I don't want to leave the house. That's how good it is. There's no issues here.
Well, like right now, like how's it feel outside?
Oh shit, I don't know.
Does it cool down at all?
Yeah, it cools down a little bit, but not significant. You got to realize everything heats up for like 16 hours. The concrete, everything around you heats up. So that ambient heat, even if the sun is not radiating anymore, it's still, it's still a problem.
Aaron says Cat in the Hat didn't really transfer. Oh, that's an understatement. She just stays. And listen, before you guys get any like bright ideas about what's your Brad with the Grinch next, I like the Grinch with Jim Carrey. So bring Christmas time. Let's do that watch party. I'm so down.
All right. I got to start working on my my fundraiser for the Twilight of the Gods and the Rebel Moon stuff too. To start doing.
We're there for that. Yeah. So yes, tomorrow we're going to go on this epic journey. I'm going to guide you guys through this ocean of bullshit that is Cat in the Hat, and on the other side of that, we're going to see this awesome, very sci-fi movie.
Wait till
Aliens invade, and Frank Grillo and the Ray guys take them on in this ancient temple with martial arts and alien technology, like includes a spiked glove.
Yeah, and everybody's going to be asking me, why are we watching the sequel or not? And they're not. But the explanation is, I still think we should watch the first one, but that's just.
Yeah, trust me, you guys, you'll understand when we see this, and then you're going to be telling. Then you're going to be telling me you're going to be saying, "Great, let's watch Skylines next, the third one," and then you can't. You all know you'll
most average Joe.
Like, then you're going to be saying like, Brad, Skyline Warpath. It's like, are we getting the trailer for that soon? Because that's coming up. I'm telling you, guys. The average viewer wants to see things. I am in touch with the force of Tra. Okay.
Yeah. They're going to be like, why are you showing number 2? Why should I watch this? And when did you do number 1? They're going to be looking down my playlist. So where's number 1? I'm like, we didn't do number 1. We did 2 first. I don't know why. That's Brad. And you're going to spend the whole stream explaining why we're doing number 2 instead of number 1. And then for those people who watch it in the rewatch are going to be totally lost. They're going to be like, wait a minute.
Oh, Ruth is begging you to share the thumbnail already. Can you share share a thumbnail right now if you already got it?
I don't have it on this disc. I had to do it when I set up the stream tomorrow. I did it at the store.
Okay. Again, so it's me, my face in the cat's body like that.
No, that's not it.
Why isn't that? Because that's the only expression you can make for this horrible movie.
Well, I have you smiling, and then it's
Why would I be smiling about Cat in the Hat?
Because that's the way you feel about this movie. But
it's not. You put Chappie there if you want somebody smiling.
We're gonna have Brad is gonna have Brad's just gonna have so much fun.
Actually, because the first one I thought was just okay. RZA did Man with the Iron Fists, but the second one actually was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good to say the second Man with the Iron Fists.
All right, guys, I think that's where I'm gonna wrap it up because we got a big day tomorrow and it's Saturday. So
we got a big day of of nonsense first and then Tra second.
Vince, I'll give it to you.
Vince, give him the order of it's obviously Cat in the Hat, and we have to. Plus, it's also chronological in the space-time continuum because Cat in the Hat came out first and Beyond Skyline came out 7 years later, so it's obviously got to be Beyond Skyline second.
And we're not even going to let him know. I'm not even going to let him know until he sees.
I already do know. You don't need to let me know that Beyond Skyline is going to be second.
Yeah, or whatever.
You don't need to let me know. I already know that. There's no reason to let me know when something I already know.
I might just screw.
If you don't know, now you know. I already know, so I already know. So you don't need to tell me to let me know because I already know.
I might just start things in order and just do Skyline, and then who knows? I won't do that to you. All right, that's it.
You want to do Skyline and Beyond Skyline instead of Cat in the Hat? I could do that.
Nah, we're doing the Hat.
We don't. We could swap it out if we need be. If they absolutely must see Skyline or Beyond Skyline, we could replace Cat in the Hat.
More people. I bet you right now will be like 90-10 as far as people who want to see Cat in the Hat. But our current audience,
no, not even close.
All right, well, we got to go. So, because I got to eat, I got to sleep, and I got to regenerate after being out in the heat. Oh, that rhymed. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific time.
Not a snowball's chance in hell, Vince.
However,
No.
if somebody wants you to
No.
no, we here
No. 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 No.
oh,
No.
we'll make it happen. It's up to you.
In your dreams.
Cat in the Hat.
No. Never. Not gonna happen.
Oh, how can I kick him off the stream? There you go. Hold on, we'll just mute him.
Okay,
Yeah.
mute him. Here we go. He's muted, which means we'll never be doing it.
Hold on, we're gonna let's see how long. Hey, we're gonna stay on the extra 5 minutes because if one of you guys drops $100 super chat, it's
You will that movie will going straight to my pocket.
times two. Times two.
No.
Back to back.
No.
Actually,
no,
Cat in the Hat.
No.
Cat in the Hat. Skyline. Cat in the
William,
Hat. We're gonna have a Cat in the Hat sandwich.
Over the end
Cat in the
screen
Hat
icon. I can prevent.
They've already heard. You guys
chat.
know what to do. You guys know what to do.
I can prevent the super chat. All I have to do is click.
No, the super chat can come in after the show. It doesn't. It can come in after the show. It did last time. So, you guys listen. You guys dictate how our Saturday goes later on today.
No, you don't. We've already set it in stone. It's beyond Skyline.
No, we set in stone.
Cat.
But if there's another Cat in the Hat, then that order doesn't matter.
No, there's one Cat in the Hat movie. It's the only one that we'll ever watch.
It's up to you guys. We're here for you.
Yeah, but not at the expense of my mental health.
We're here.
No. Not going to happen.
Two.
Never. Never. No.
Make it happen, Fourth. I see you thinking. Look at that. Look at that. Fourth knows what's up.
No. Fourth doesn't know what's up. Doesn't know what's up.
Make it happen, guys.
Don't
I'm going
make
to
it
stay on
happen.
the air till 105. 105.
So 1 minute. 1 minute here.
A cat. Dude, I would have to totally redo the thumbnail. It would be two Brads in the middle of the skyline. Two Brads crying with a cat, the hat, and
if one of you takes him up on this, I will hunt you down.
Two Brads. So we have like.
If one of you does this, don't.
A Brad sandwich.
No Brad sandwich.
A Brad hat sandwich.
Not happening.
Let's make it happen, folks.
No, let's not make it happen because it's not going to happen because they wouldn't do that to me.
They've done it to you plenty of times.
Let's already 105, so we can't do that now. No, sorry, you guys missed the cutoff.
No, we know there's other people out there.
You said 105. It's like it's
no,
105.
105. The 105 is still on the screen.
There you go. So it's been taken off the table now.
There you go. Clint's willing to spring half of it. There you go. Where's Larry? Cat and Hat sandwich, baby.
Never happening. Never happening. You guys are doing that one without me. If you want to watch Cat in the Hat after,
just imagine that thumbnail.
Just imagine this. It's like the only movie we have done 2 watch parties for so far is Zack Snyder's Justice League. Are you guys actually prepared to suggest the Cat in the Hat
in one day? In one day,
galaxy of
one day. Not only we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it in one day. We're gonna show Cat in the Hat.
Williams he's gone senile in his old age.
Cat in the Hat sandwich, baby.
Cat in the Hat sandwich that William decided to go eat on his own.
Here we go, Azteca. Nope. Now here we go.
Nope.
Come on, Azteca.
Nope. Make
Brad meow.
Never.
Make Brad meow like a cat.
Meow with all the money in the world.
Make Brad purr.
No, not happening.
All right, I'm hungry. I gotta go.
Later, guys.